Now is the time. We are living in an extraordinary time when we have a rare window of opportunity to leave the path of decline.
Ursula von der Leyen has not been voted in by anyone and is president of the Commission because she has won the favor of all the losers.
The fact is that the liberal elite of the West use the taxpayers' money of United States citizens to spread their ideology all around the world.
In this day and age, Europe is governed by weak politicians whose only concern is implementing delusional agendas and sacrificing member states' national identities on the altar of a new world order.
Donald Trump will restore inner security by closing the border and deporting all illegal immigrants. He called out the climate change as the hoax it is, and he will end this gigantic taxpayers' milking machine called the Green Deal.
And my message to all the old leaders, from Macron to Scholz to your old Pedro Sanchez, is your time is over now.
Leftists took over European Union years ago, and they are so happy because of this, because of the system, because they are the ones who are making most out of the system.
Donald Trump's return to the White House is the victory of the suffocated middle classes. The borders of the nation are the door to your house, and that no one has the right to enter your house without permission, and that if they do, they must be removed. It's over. It's done. The future belongs to the patriots.
We've seen what happened when Europe opened their doors to jihad. Look at Paris. Look at London. They're no longer recognizable.
The leaders of the left in Western Europe, deeply convinced that if they let the migrants in, which are basically Muslims, poor Muslim persons, and let them to be combined with the traditional Christian society, and they manage a kind of integration, the outcome of this whole process will be a better and happier society.
We need a Europe that will defend its borders by any means necessary. A Europe that respects its traditions and identity. A Europe that supports its families and businesses. A Europe that embraces its Orthodox heritage and Christian roots.
The time of Mark Trudeau, of Olaf Scholz, and certainly also of Ursula von der Leyen is coming to an end. The time of social experiment is coming to an annual end, and we are also seeing the wokeism, gender theories, climate madness, and other narratives have no future. And the sun of freedom rises from Argentina across the USA to Austria and to us here one day.
The threat that I worry the most about vis-a-vis Europe is not Russia, it's not China, it's not any other external actor. And what I worry about is the threat from within, the retreat of Europe from some of its most fundamental values, values shared with the United States of America.
They are forcing you to do things you don't want to do. And that is the problem, that Europe is supposed to be the union of sovereign countries. Where is sovereignty? When someone is pushing you, your democratically elected government, to do as they want. This is not democracy. I don't like that. I don't want to live. I don't want to raise my future children as the product of leftism. I do not agree as a Catholic, as a Christian, with abortion, promotion of abortion. I do not agree with transgender ideology, which is present everywhere as a part of LGBT. I do not agree with that. And if you do not agree, you pay. You might be fined. You might pay for what you believe in.
The establishment in Brussels and the mainstream media try to isolate us. They ignore us. They cast us as radicals. Yet despite their efforts, we are growing stronger.
The EU has robbed the member states of their sovereignty, destroyed their economic power, devalued their currency, disenfranchised their citizens. All of this needs to stop. We need to go back to the foundation of democracy, rule of the people, for the people, by the people. And the beautiful sound of freedom ringing throughout the entire world yesterday should inspire us. Let's make Europe great again. And if the EU refuses, then guess what? We will just do it without you, but it will happen. Let's make Europe great again. Thank you.
The world is changing rapidly before our eyes, and we are at the forefront of this transformation. And as President Trump ushers a golden age for America, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to do the same in Europe? And the answer, as you just said, indeed, is yes, we will make Europe great again.
So we are fighting with the communism in a new modern form, but it's still communism. It's a Marxism. The way they behave same way, many of them. Are trying to use censorship on us to stop us from developing, from reaching out people with our message, with the truth of history and what is happening in leftist states. This is what they tried with Mr. Trump. This is what they are trying now with Mr. Musk. This is what they're trying with us as well.
The mainstream of European politics has been taken over by a self-destructing left-wing progressive agenda. Instead of a pragmatic approach to solving problems, priority has been given to dysfunctional social experiments that erode traditional values, undermine the economic strength of European countries, worsen security, and attempt to re-educate an entire society.
With Donald Trump president will change the geopolitics as well. I hope so anyway. But he already made a huge change in the mindset of the political thinking of the West. Previously they said migration is good, to resist to migration is bad. Now it's just the opposite. To defend your interest is good, migration, illegal migration especially, is bad. Then on Green Deal, they said green is good, economic competitiveness does not count. Now it's obvious that economic competitiveness first and green issues just the second. And then on religious communities and values, Christianity in our case, you know, it was said that it belonged to the Middle Age. They made us ridiculous several times, making jokes on us and so on. But now the president said it's a respectful thing. The community of the believers must enjoy respect, which is good for our society.
If anything, what has led Europe to its current tragic state is the absence of leaders. There is a profound difference between a bureaucrat politician and a leader.
My friends, people have had enough of illegal immigration. And I ask you, do you have enough of crime? Do you have enough of Islamic immigration? Do you have enough of woke insanity? And if you have enough, then what should we do? We should win the elections in all our respective countries.
Democracy means two things at the same time. Participation of the people, involvement, but the involvement of the people must be resulted in good governance. If the involvement of the people, the public opinion, does not result in good governance, it's anarchy, it's not democracy. So democracy means participation of the people by their voting in the major decisions, and the outcome must be a good governance. If one of them is lacking, it's not democracy. And now in Europe we are heading to a position when the people has a chance to vote, but there is no chance to get good governance. So we are moving rather towards a kind of anarchical public life in West Europe.
Instead of creating the conditions for the growth of European industry, our institutions are fanatically focused on a green transition that is being promoted without any regard to economic reality. The mass migration of Islamist cultures into Europe, organized by Brussels and its NGOs, is leading to the emergence of parallel societies and daily security threats to millions of peaceful inhabitants of European cities. We see that any criticism of the official line is silenced on the pretext of fighting the hate speech. The democracy is suppressed with tools which allows European elites to pretend that the real problems do not exist.
Not because they disagree. They are not happy because they understand that drill baby drill that American economy will boom in a minute. And their ideology, sick green ideology of saving the whole globe, even though we are responsible for 7% of the pollution, is suicide. It's madness.
All of us in all our nations of Europe, we will fight for our values. We will fight for our families. We will fight for our countries. We refuse to bend our knee to the extremist agenda of the woke left. And we refuse to surrender to the guilt tripping of the multiculturalist. People all over Europe want us to bring back sanity and moral clarity. And we will. They want us to defend hardworking citizens and protect the elderly and the vulnerable. And we will. And we will make the Netherlands, we will make Spain, we will make Europe great again. And my friends, that means that the old regimes are going to fall.
We need common sense. It doesn't matter if you're a socialist, it doesn't matter if you are called leftist, it doesn't matter. If you have a common sense, you will come back home, because there's so many leftists converting now, saying, oh, I was manipulated, that's wrong, this. And it's good. We want people back from this sect. I do believe that it's possible. We're gonna win elections by taking people back. Hold them, hug them, and say, welcome home. Let's fight for our values, for our families, for our safety, for our development, for our growth in many ways, for our education. So how are we gonna win it? Thanks to Mr. Trump, we're gonna win elections in every country in Europe. Making great Europe is a movement of common sense political parties around the world.
For many decades, the United States of America has been by far our most important partner, our most important political partner in defending the multilateral world order, our most important economic partner. Together, we represent more than 30% of global trade. Our economies represent more than 40% of the global economy. The United States of America have been for many decades our most important partner in security and defense. Together, we have launched NATO, which is by far the strongest military alliance in the history, and together we have defended human rights. Together we have defended democracy, we have defended freedom of speech, freedom of press. Because of the importance of the partnership with the United States of America, let me say clearly, we will never turn our back on our American friends, of our American allies. Let us monitor closely what is happening in the United States of America. Let us be in dialogue with this administration. There are opinions reaching from very good to very bad. Let us monitor what happens. Let us see what decisions are being made, be in dialogue with the new administration, defending the values that we stand for, and trying to make sure that we will be stronger on security, on defense, and on the economy as a European Union, also through partnerships with the United States. Thank you very much.